Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to another episode of Overwatch Week. We got quite a few things to cover this week, so we're going to just jump right into the first thing, which is a PTR patch. This went live on Monday. It's got four changes. The first one is that, this is a pretty big one. It's a general change. Damage reduction from armor reduced from -5 to -3, so now armor doesn't reduce the damage as much when oops, sorry, hit the mic. Doesn't reduce the damage as much when you attack them with armor. So someone who has armor is going to take more damage than they would before. It's kind of confusing, a little bit iffy. So I do have linked in the description to a video by Stylosa where he goes a little bit more in detail about it, better than I can, because I don't really understand it fully, and how the heroes are kind of changed, and which ones have the biggest impact and whatnot. So that'll be linked in the description. Check that out if you're more curious about what that means. But there are some other changes. To Brigitte, her rally now has a maximum duration of 30 seconds. What this means is that her armor that the armor that she gives, so the ultimate lasts for 10 seconds. The armor that she gives after that lasts for an additional 20. After that 20 seconds, it starts to disappear. And then it eventually will all disappear after like 31, 32 seconds. So, where she used to, of course, have all this armor and it was permanent until you did that damage or you took that damage, now it will eventually just wear off, which is a huge change. This is a huge change to hurt the current GOATS meta. Obviously, the damage reduction also, damage reduction change is also a big hurt to that GOATS meta. D.Va had a change to her defense matrix where her cooldown increased from 1 second to 2 seconds, which is pretty big. And the Reaper had a change to the Reaping, which is his passive, where the lifesteal was increased from 30% to 50% of damage dealt. That is insane. Reaper is back, I think. He could be used more, obviously. So this patch that we see here in the PTR, very small in terms of how many things got patched or what things got patched, but it's really big against the GOATS meta, and it looks like they are trying to kill this GOATS meta as best they can, and it's interesting. I'm curious to see what we get out of it, because it'll be interesting to see how the meta changes around these updates. I'm curious to see, but we will have to wait until they hit the live servers really to see how they have a major impact on the meta. But we also have some live server patch notes. We're going to start with not the thing that I would assume people would know about if you know about the patch. The first thing, of course, is that the Overwatch League 2019 skins are live. So if you want the skins for the expansion teams, the Atlanta Reign, the Chengdu Hunters, the Guangzhou Charge, the Hangzhou Spark, the Paris Eternal, the Toronto Defiant, the Vancouver Titans, or the Washington Justice, their skins are now on the Overwatch client, and they're in games, you can get them. Also some changes to game browser and custom game updates. So when you are spectating, status effect icons now display on the afflicted heroes' portraits. You should be seeing an image right here, which comes from XTicoX on Reddit. I'll have a link in the description to his Reddit post where he went into detail some stuff before the patch went live. But he is the reason why I have this image for you, so you should be seeing that on screen. There's also an option to toggle an over-the-shoulder spectator camera instead of just a first person. To do that, you go to Options, Gameplay, Use Simple 3P Spectator Camera, and an option to mute voice lines while spectating is now available. That is found under Options, Gameplay, Enable Voice Lines while spectating. And the Unlock All option in the Hero Gallery has been removed. There are also some bug fixes, of course, but the big part of this patch is the Anna's Bastet challenge. Now this focuses around the Bastet short story, which I will have linked in the description to a tweet, which is just the Overwatch tweet that you can get to Bastet from there. Bastet, of course, is a short story. focusing around Ana and Soldier 76, and kind of mostly Ana, but some stuff with Soldier 76, and it's a follow-up to the Old Soldiers comic. So let's jump into a little bit more detail on this Ana's Bastet challenge, shall we? So, what is it? This is very similar to the D.Va's Nano Cola challenge, or whatever challenge. So, I'll read the first little thing they have here. Prove yourself as a powerful guardian by completing Ana's Bastet challenge. We're bringing the fierce protector from the new Overwatch short story Bastet into the game with the story-inspired content available to unlock for a limited time. So the first thing, there are in-game rewards, which you should be seeing on screen now. So if you play win 3 games total in quick play, arcade, or in competitive, you will get a player icon. If you win 6 games, you'll get a victory pose, and if you win 9 games, you will get the Bastet epic skin. There is also some Twitch drops for watching Twitch streams, and you can see them here on screen as well. So for 2 hours, you get a spray of Ana, just like in the Bastet outfit, holding a rifle. If you watch 4 hours, you get a spray of Ana without any mask on or anything, as well as Soldier 76 and Vincent, which I'll get more into detail on that in a second here. And 6 hours, you get a Bastet Ana taking off her mask, and also just a Bastet cat head. To get these drops, you can watch any of the participating streams between now and January 21st while they are live, and those people that are streaming are Iman GG, Mickey, Tyroden, Fran, Miro, Blue, Nozarino, Rocket Live, Death March Gaming, Kim J1, Elspeth, 963 Games, AlphaCast, and Aspen. So any of those people between now and January 21st, you can get these drops if you watch 6 hours or 2 hours, 4 hours, how many hours you want to watch. There's all that kind of stuff, and of course you can read the short story. And a little interesting fact, until January 21st, if you buy $20 or more of select Overwatch products, you can receive a free Ana Funko Pop vinyl. So, that is the basis of the Bastet challenge thing. But what exactly is the Bastet story about, in case you're wondering? So, without going into spoilers of it, I highly recommend you read it. But obviously, if you are an Overwatch fan, you probably know about the big reveal that this Bastet story came out with. So we are going to get to that, but just some quick little things that it takes place after Old Soldiers, which is the comic where Ana reunites with Soldier 76 and also reunites with Reaper as Gabriel Reyes, of course. They all knew each other in the past. Ana in this comic, kind of just has conversations with Jack, which is Soldier 76. You find out that Soldier 76 had a boyfriend in the past. You find out that Gabriel Reyes has a family, at least had a family, which means that the look at that frame from the Reflections comic is probably Reaper looking at his ex-wife and son. I would assume ex-wife, because I don't think that would be Reaper that is with that woman and that boy. I would assume that that's Reaper's family. So that's very interesting. So this story is very good. I highly recommend you read it. I don't want to get too into spoilers. Like I said, there's a link in the description to get to the story. It's a tweet from the Overwatch Twitter account that has the link, and you get to see some stuff. There's some artwork involved in the story. It's very nice. It's a good story. It's a piece of lore content which has been somewhat lacking lately. So now it's not as bad because we now have some more lore. But that is everything for the in-game news, and I guess in a way that's everything for the just actual Overwatch news. The next thing is a very big story that came around the past week, Obviously, it's a little bit longer than that. So this is a story I'm going to probably spend a little bit more time on than these other ones. This is the story of the Ellie situation. Now, if you don't know anything about the Ellie situation, that is fine. I will give you the rundown of it. If you want a more in-depth video of it, I have a link in the description to a video by Stylosa. This is the second time in this video already I've linked Stylosa, but I think Stylosa makes very good content. And I think that if you haven't seen the full details about this situation, I won't cover everything. He covers a lot more than I will. But to give you the basics, Ellie is a player in Overwatch, a female player who had become pretty popular, had become pretty well known, and signed with a North American contenders team called Second Wind. And after Ellie signed with Second Wind, some stuff kind of came out on Twitter and some stuff from Discord and from in-game that had come out. On Discord, there was someone saying, like, you know, how the contenders teams have to reveal the names of the players, and they have to know the names of the players. So, you know, we got to find who this Ellie is and, you know, dox her, basically. And then one person said that every time she would play a game with Ellie, people would quit, you know, mid-game, or they would just say really horrible things to her and all this other stuff. So it was this really, like, awful side of the internet and, you know, the gaming community that we know about. It's not new. It's not a surprise. So Ellie, who had signed with this team, Second Wind, very negative kind of repercussions in the community. So Second Wind announces that Ellie has decided to leave the team. Now fast forward a couple days and we get to C9 Aspen, who is a streamer, popular streamer. She is I believe, a Mercy player. She's a pretty good player. Aspen comes out and says, look, this whole Ellie situation, I want to make things very clear. Ellie isn't real. Ellie is actually a top 500 player named Punisher, who is a male player, known for playing Doomfist, but also plays some other DPS players. And Punisher was conducting a social experiment, if you will, to kind of show that there's a problem in the community towards female gamers and female members of the community. Obviously, like I said, there's more to it. There's more stuff you can check out in this Stylosa video, but Blizzard gets involved and make a statement saying Ellie was never officially actually a member of Second Wind because she was never submitted to Blizzard. They would have to do a background check and all that kind of stuff to make sure that that's actually who the person is, and all this other stuff they would have to do. So it's very likely that this whole thing was planned from the beginning, that Second Wind never actually signed in any way Ellie. They were probably involved in some way in this experiment, and they were kind of just looking to see what would happen. I don't really know why they got involved and what their motivation was, but that seems what is most likely the case. Now, linked in the description is a story from thegamehouse.com that kind of goes a little bit more into detail about this whole situation. But what I wanted to cover was the kind of broader issue that this brings up, of course, which is the sexism and issue between that the women in gaming focus. Sorry, my voice. Because sexism is a problem, right, in the video game community, and just this kind of issue is very prevalent. We saw it with Gregory, of course, who is the only female player currently playing in the Overwatch League. She plays for the Shanghai Dragons. Before she was even a part of the Overwatch League, you know, I don't know if this was 2016, early 2017. I don't really know when this was, but Gregory was accused of cheating because she was very good at the game. She's a very good Zarya player, and people believe that there was no way she was actually as good as she says she is. So she would stream with a camera facing her mouse to prove that she was actually playing. She went on somewhere in public, like, with all these other people around her. Like, there were dudes who said, like, we will quit the game if it comes out that Gregory isn't cheating, and it turned out she wasn't, that she's just actually really good at the game, and they left the scene. They haven't come back yet, so, at least to my knowledge. And she had to use a voice changer, all this other stuff. It's a problem that is there. There's also the team manager for the Paris Eternal, Lisa Lingval, known as Liz Lynn. Um, and there were some issues when they announced her because they called her the mom manager, and people had an issue with that. And there's also, there's also Susie Kim, the general manager for the London Spitfire, who hid the fact that she was married to Monte Cristo for over a year because she didn't want people to accuse her of getting the position she's in because of her connection to Monte Cristo, right? There's a problem in the community, obviously, and it's not just the Overwatch community, it's in the video game community in general. It's a major issue. It's a problem that has been around for as long as competitive gaming has been around. And you you have to realize that there is a lot of reasons why this is a problem. That this is a percentage, a large percentage of the players. I would assume probably not a majority of the percentage. Most of the time when I'm playing Overwatch, most of the players I'm playing against are male, or playing with are male. But obviously, it's a large percentage of players, right, are females, and they want to enjoy the game, and it's toxic, it's negative, it's hard to enjoy a game when people are attacking you. And Punisher, I think, did a good thing by kind of going the distance and showing this. Now, he may have gone a little too far, obviously, but it was a very, very big situation. It was a very big story, and it was a really interesting read for me and to watch all these videos on it, because I found it to be one of the most interesting stories to come out of Overwatch in a long time. So, really, really, really big story, really important story, really cool read. Cool is probably not the best word. It's a very interesting thing, and I think it's good. So, yeah, if you want more details on anything that I talked about, that is all, of course, linked in the description as always. But I'm going to end this video off here. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, consider liking and subscribing, as it helps out a lot with me. And let me know down below what you think about this whole Ellie situation, or the Bastet story, Bastet challenge, anything like that. I'd love to hear it down below. But I'm going to end this video off. Hope you all have a great day, and thanks for watching. Bye.